Happy day, YouTube. How's it going? Some days, I'm so tired of my struggle, I don't want to live anymore. Am I going to kill myself? No. I'm not suicidal. There's a big difference. But brings me to the topic of this video. Psychoactive medications. Antidepressants, tranquilizers, antipsychotics. Are they worth it? Are they worth it? I know this may not be a popular opinion with some people, but I'll tell you my opinion. And first off, I really feel for anyone that struggles with mental issues. I've definitely had a lot of them. And most people do. They really, really do. In this world, if you don't, you're the minority. So there may be a stigma attached to them. Mental illness, there's a stigma, but it's kind of strange when you're the majority if you have a mental illness. Like, we live in an unnatural world, so that's the reality of it. Now, this is what I learned in school and also from my own experience. In most cases, psychoactive medications do more harm than good. They do. And the research shows Zoloft is equal to placebo is equal to omega-3s. So what does that tell you? The majority of the effect that you're going to get from antidepressants is a placebo effect. Now, I'm not going to negate a placebo effect. Placebos are extremely effective. Research shows placebos are extremely effective. The mind is a powerful thing. But are they worth it? Are they worth it? In my experience, they're not worth it. They're not. Think real hard before you take an antidepressant. There are women who murder their children because of these drugs. There are people that commit suicide because of these drugs. I have a best friend who killed himself, and I honestly believe it was because of the antidepressants he was taking. I have another friend who completely blacked out on Celexa, ended up wrecking his car, threatening people, and woke up in prison. Completely out of character for this person, doesn't even remember it. So, think real hard before you take those drugs. Those drugs can have permanent consequences that your doctor will not tell you about. Why? Because the big pharma owns our government. Big pharma owns our medical system. Be very, very careful with those drugs. Those drugs are some of the most dangerous drugs on the market, yet they prescribe them willy-nilly. It's like, oh, you got the blues, here, take this, you'll be better in the morning. No, it doesn't get to the root of the problem. I will say there is a place for these drugs. There is. I mean, if there's a situation where someone's like legitimately going to harm themselves or other and needs to be sedated, yes, okay, I guess there's a place for those drugs. But be very, very careful with them, because what's interesting is a lot of the side effects, they'll be like, oh, this drug is prescribed for anxiety, and then you look at the side effects and it causes anxiety. Or this drug is prescribed for depression, and you look at the side effects and it causes depression. It causes worse suicidal thoughts than they had before, and then they become impulsive. And so these drugs are extremely dangerous. They affect people in ways that we don't even know yet, some of them, especially the newer classes of drugs. What is even more effective than the drugs? What is even more effective than the drugs? Sleep, exercise, sunshine, healthy foods, social connections. All of those things, research shows in the majority of the cases, are more effective than those drugs. And the consequences of those drugs can be deadly. They can be permanent. There are women who murder their children because of antidepressants. So you can see I get very, very passionate about this. I had a friend kill himself because of these drugs. Those drugs, and I'm speaking from personal experience, I've tried a lot of these drugs in my youth. You know, it's like, oh, you're mentally ill, oh, you're depressed, blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. This is how I look at it nowadays. I'm not crazy. I'm an artist. And you'll find, even throughout history, a lot of really sensitive and creative people tend to be labeled as depressed or bipolar or all these psychiatric. Is that real, or is that just who they are? Are they just an artist? Are they just a musician? Are they just an intuitive person? Are they a psychic person? It's like this world, they just don't understand that kind of stuff, and they want to slap a label on it and give you a pill so they can make their money, get you in and out. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Those are my thoughts on it. Be very, very careful with those drugs. Please, please, I beg you, be careful. The consequences of those drugs can be devastating. So yeah, kind of serious video today, but I was thinking a lot about that because I had a friend who was trying another drug, and I was thinking a lot about it, and it's just, it's scary. It's scary. I hope that you never have to go down that road or even consider that road. But if you do, just be very careful and mindful, and know that there are other ways out of hell other than pharmaceutical drugs. They don't want you to think there is because they want to make their money, but there are other ways out. There are ways out. I promise you that.